fill up. A few drinks into a Red Bull, a couple cups of coffee, and someone burning the midnight oil all describes a sleep-deprived person in the making. As college students such as yourselves, we have a tendency to stay up late, whether that be working, on schoolwork, at a job, for some of us, even playing video games like myself. I, myself, have fallen guilty to one, if not all of these reasons. I also have done an abundant amount of research on sleep deprivation and its effects it has on your body, both mentally and physically. Although sleep deprivation does not seem too important, it does play a huge role in how we perform throughout our day as students and young adults. Today, I will be going over how sleep deprivation has affected us as college students, how we outfall some of these effects, and the correct amount of sleep we need in order to perform properly. In the world today, society sees sleep deprivation as something normal to get ahead, whether it be on the job, in school, or for any reason you find just to not fall asleep. Over the past few years, the amount of college students not sleeping or sleeping later on at night has risen dramatically. According to an article on the effects of sleep deprivation, a poll was taken with 100 students to see what time slots they sleep in. Within the times of 8 to 10, 17 people tend to fall asleep in that time slot. Between 10 to 12 a.m., 57 of us. 12 to 2 a.m., another 20 of us. And then lastly, 2 a.m. and above, 6 of us. By a show of hands in the audience, how many of us can say we fall asleep between the hours of 10 to 12 p.m.? Now, between the hours of 12 to 2 a.m. I picked these time slots because they are the most concentrated amount of students within them. I myself fall guilty of falling asleep within the hours of 2 a.m. or above, and once a week have a tendency to not sleep at all, to pull the all-nighter, as we say. By a statistic of just 100 students, we see the dramatic increase of students sleeping later or not at all. Now, imagine if we took a poll or a toll within the United States. According to the Sleep Association, 50 to 7 million U.S. adults have a sleeping disorder or are obtaining one right now. Now, we can discuss the real problem, which is sleep deprivation. And due to sleep deprivation, many physical and mental functions are affected. The amount of consequences that follow can be limitless. And take this saying into an example. Half a tank in a car only does half the amount of job, but a full tank can get the job done. According to Margaret Alice in her book, Sleep Deprivation, people may adjust to a sleep-deprived schedule, but physical and mental health will suffer. These are just a few things that interfere with sleep deprivation and cause us to lose focus on. Our learning habits, concentration as well in class and at work, our memory performance such as short-term memory loss, also causes an abundant amount of stress on ourselves. Our work and school ethics suffer, and social interactions within our friends, even at school, suffer as well. There are many things that are affected by not getting the correct amount of sleep at night. Sleeping can affect us in many more ways than one, and we should take the time to recognize these effects. The correct amount of sleep for students ranges between the hours of 7 to 10 hours of sleep, depending on your age. According to the University Health Center of University of Georgia State, an average college student gets about 6 to 6.9 hours of sleep a night. Now, how many of us can say we get that bare minimum? Me, I could not. Sleep deprivation plays on young college students. Since the workload given is in a ridiculous amounts, there's articles written on the New York Times opinions about starting school later and lessening the amount of work given. Now, we can see that sleep deprivation is important in our society today. Whether that be a full-time student and a full-time worker, it affects us in more ways than one. Remember that sleeping gives us all of our energy and it rejuvenates us every day to perform at our peak. Again, we drink 3 cups of coffee a day like myself, 4 espresso shots in that coffee. I'm running around, take naps between the hours of 3 to 10, and I'm up between the hours of 2 a.m. to right now. I procrastinate myself on my speeches, on my homework, and it affects my job. Now that you guys see that sleep deprivation is very impactful in the world today, I hope we take the time to recognize it later on. Thank you.